Yeah, unfortunately, in my research about you, I've had to see your little package. Your penis is out there on the internet, isn't it?
Really? No.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Show me.
We'll get into it. Are we waiting for Laura? Or?
No,
Cool.
she's gone.
She's just following you around.
Did you?
She's like that annoying friend. Can't get rid of her.
Oh no, she's a great friend. Laura's a great friend.
Yeah. Apparently, revealed this morning, doesn't watch my interviews. Do you
Yeah, I
see
saw
that.
that.
Yeah. How disgusting is that, by the way?
Shame. That's a shame.
Yeah.
In her field
After
of work,
everything
it's a
I've
shame.
done for France.
I still want to know where is the fuck you found my penis online.
Well, listen, we're going to get into that because Romain.
I've cleaned the internet. My butt, yeah. The rest of my body, for sure. What the? If there's one man on the internet able to find it, it's you.
Could you tell me what happens in this video?
Oh yeah, but you don't see you don't see it.
Yeah.
Really? Did you guys ended up zooming?
I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to play the video.
No, of course not.
What is this video, Romain?
We were doing a tour of Europe with a bunch of friends of mine in a van, an incredible trip to Cape North and back, and that is like I think 50 kilometers away from Cape North, and we wanted to mark the moment by going naked diving in the Arctic Ocean. It is an extremely bad idea, and I could have died as I learned it a bit later. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna talk to the video in French and say, guys, I'm going in the... And in the rest of the video, you can see me running, and then I'm in front of the sea. The problem is, if you run barefoot in the snow, it cuts your feet. And it's minus 40 around me, so which I did not realize, and I will in like 10 seconds. So
Absolutely. And I mean, your boy Martin had a good game today, didn't he?
oh yeah, he did.
But he's not the only Martin in your life, is he? Because your brother's called Martin.
That is true. That is true. Oh man, yep, absolutely. I have 3 brothers and sister. One's called Martin. Yep.
And your sister's called Charlotte, I believe, right?
Yeah, that is correct. That's good.
What are they up to these days?
They're having a lot of fun in their life. We have a great family. I love my family. I love my parents.
You seem like you come from quite an odd family. You're all quite strange in some ways. Where does that odd, eccentric spirit come from? The willingness to sort of be naked all the time and this kind of stuff?
Parents. They're really nice, kind human. And
Bohemian.
No, not bohemian. They've always told us, do whatever you want, but do it to the maximum. Be professional at it. You want to be dumb, but be really fucking good at it.
Because your father was responsible for helping a French football team win the league in '99, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's really true. That's really true. That's his field of work. He's just helping people. He's motivating people. He's like a consultant in this field of work.
And I can imagine that for your career, that was very helpful to have a man like that around.
100%. Not just around, like as
Just
a...
so.
I think I'm doing that now because of him. Like the same way if your dad is like a doctor or something, you will have this kind of story back home.
It's a photo of him visiting you in NA back in the
Yeah,
day.
bro.
It's
He
a nice
helped us a
photo.
lot. So that was not enough to make us like win.
He looks very different to you.
That's because he's older. That's usually the idea of a dad.
That's normally what happens, yeah.
But give him a bit of a space and you'll see. We're pretty much the same. Which I take it as a compliment usually.
It's fair enough. I have some other stuff about you.
You do your work. I love it.
I told you I
Welcome
would.
to my life.
So you went to the Lycée Robespierre?
What is that?
Robespierre, that's the school you went to, the high school.
Oh, RBS, Rouen Business School. Yeah.
And then you went to Rouen Business School
Yeah.
afterwards, you were the class of 2013. But it wasn't always League of Legends for you, was it, Romain? Because you started
No.
off as a marketing assistant at Activision Blizzard, didn't you, in 2012?
Yeah, that was my first internship. I loved it. Back then, people were buying video games on CD. So there was nothing digital, really. And StarCraft eSport was small in Europe.
And StarCraft was what you were a fan of, right? Because I remember
Yeah.
I've seen a video of you dancing on stage for Razer at DreamHack 2012.
This one was a
Should I play
banger.
that on video?
This one was a banger. Yeah, that was really fun. DreamHack.
Is that where it all started for you, Romain? Because that was when you were doing the crowd work and you started to kind of work up the crowd in some ways. Yeah?
I think it started with my dad. When I've seen my dad do this kind of stuff. When I was in baby school, you know, my dad was the one doing the end of the year party. He was the one with the mic. And I remember looking at him as a kid saying, oh, this is so cool. Everyone is looking at dad being cool and shit. I want to do the same. And I think, yeah, that's a bit what I'm doing now.
But I suppose what I'm talking about is it's quite interesting because you came to a field, I imagine, you're very extroverted and gaming at that time, very introverted field. Was it interesting to be the first person that kind of is willing to dress up like a pink little unicorn and parade your little butt around?
I had a free space just for me, you know. No one was gonna do it, and it was really useful from a business marketing perspective to have someone to sell to the sponsors, because most of the players hate cameras, they hate content, they just like to click and play video games. So we
You're
need
very
someone to
business
sell.
minded, aren't you? There's an article you made about Korean imports back in the day that you put on Reddit when you were the
Yeah.
UOL GM, and you talk and you break it down in a way that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about in the discussion about how certain markets only appeal to certain markets. Etika, for example.
Yeah, you read it, man. You did your homework. Yeah, but that's my core expertise. That was the initial idea behind. It's just business. How do you sell? That has been my core question for the whole.
In many ways, you're selling dreams now, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, we can call my boys dreams. So yeah, I'm selling the boys right now. And
Hope of a whole nation.
yeah, region maybe, not nation. I would love to
We
work
are
with
all
friends,
one
but
nation, really.
We are one nation. That's true. Because we're facing one nations as well. You have to beat China and Korea, and they are. I think that's also what makes us a more complicated ecosystem. Is we are fragmented. We speak different languages. Listen to my English. You know, you take one team. We all speak broken English, and if you have a pure, full Chinese team or Korean team, they speak the same language. They share the same culture, which I believe helps to align on a common goal. At the same time, it's really good to ignite passion in Europe. Like, I love it. That's going to be fun to be in Paris, for example, because the French fans are there. I can talk French to them. So,
Absolutely. But when we talk about going back to that one journey, the journey that you're on now, your journey to Cape Nord, I found there's a document that you made. It's called There and Back Again. It's
Yeah,
a nice little PDF. And we've
so
got,
you know exactly what you were asking
there
for.
we
Yeah.
go, Romain Bigard, right there.
I was a
Phrase
baby,
type,
bro.
God save the van.
That's the story I was telling you about. That's the whole. I took note. I like to archive stuff. I save everything. I save pictures. I have Excel sheets of what I've been doing every day for the last 15 years. Because it's useful. One day you will need those data. So because I take so much notes, I ended up making a small book of this trip, of this journey
Ground Control,
to Major Town.
one of your favorite songs.
I like it. Yeah.
It's one of the songs you listened to on the first leg of your journey.
That's
back when you
true.
did this trip.
That's true. He was introduced to me by one of my music friends in the trip.
Yeah, it's quite freaky that I know that.
Yeah, a bit. You spend so much time on it. I like it though. It's welcome to my life.
Yeah. Well, your life is important, Romain, and I think the world deserves to know it.
Oh.
But the position you're in now is interesting because you've done that journey and you do a journey now. You talk about moments being so special to you and collating them in kind of a refined practice. What are the moments you think you'll look back to? The specific small things, because I think we have an understanding of the macro beauty. But what are the small things that Romain will remember in a few years?
I love this. I assume you've watched Rick and Morty, right? You know this episode when
Yeah.
when he's plugging memories in
Yeah,
them and
yeah,
he has
yeah.
a good ones. But I think about that a lot. And this kind of question, what will I remember about from this specific year in 10 years, in 20 years, and in 40 years? Because I think the more macro you go,
Yeah.
the more meaningless most of whatever
More
we're
that it's
doing now.
accessible to a wider people. I want to hear what's important to you.
Right now, being happy.
Yeah.
Being happy on this journey, making sure everyone around me is happy about it. We're so freaking lucky to be doing what we're doing right now. It's insane. We are dedicating our entire existence to make sure we play video games right way. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, and I suppose for you, someone I can imagine is so intrepid in the way that they travel. When you're an intrepid traveler, I know from traveling, not as much as you, but it's you pick up small essences from people. People have very small elements of beauty. And I wonder for you, I wanted to hear from the players you have now, what are the small bits of beauty that you really appreciate about your current players, your boys? Go top to bottom.
But Bibi, I love how clever he is from a social perspective, from a human perspective. He understands exactly where to put the right joke, what people want, and stuff like that, and which empowers him even deeper as a captain. I think he's really, really good at that. Yak, he's just nice. He's always gonna say the right sentence, the right thing at the right moment, just to make sure everyone is happy around him, and it's really, really precious in the team. Caps is this goofy human. He's really double-sided, you know. He can be really lost in his head, or he can be so extroverted in a way.
He's got a very, I think from speaking to him and speaking to his dad, it's a sense of whimsy almost.
Yeah, but yes, he has a pretty stupid humor. But he's
No, I mean more in the sense of, in the same way that like the stories we hear about fairies in the garden when we're growing up, there is an almost a whimsical, light nature to him that is very
Oh, yes, that's the
intense.
interview you did about
Yeah.
him being. Yeah, he would fit perfectly in this kind of world. It's just you love to be around him as long as you talk about the
He's
game.
very Peter Pan.
Peter, oh,
Yeah.
How did I never thought about that? Yes, Caps is definitely Peter Pan, 100%. Hans is my favorite little goldfish. You know, like he's really one action
One
after.
track.
He like, up, up, up.
Yeah.
The moment he turns into League of Legends, he becomes lethal. He becomes a fighter. He becomes a soldier. He becomes even a bit scary. You know, the way he's gonna puppet everyone around him and sends them to battle and shit. And once you unplug him from the game, yeah, okay. He's a little goldfish, you know. You ask him something, he's gonna forget about it in the next 5 seconds, but it's fine because I would not have a job if it was not for this kind of stuff. But I love working with him. And Mickey he's a genius. He's a dark genius, you know. He's a genius, but he doesn't accept it. He refuses it. He's so hard on himself, which is a shame because he's so freaking brilliant and kind and nice. And I hope he's gonna realize it sooner than later. And yeah.
Do you think you almost wish with him that where do you think arrogance would take him?
Argon.
Where do you think arrogance would take him?
Arrogance. I was like, where are we going? It's a lot of the ring era. Arrogance. I don't think Mickey's arrogant.
No, you're saying he's not arrogant.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that arrogance to believe in yourself, to propel yourself.
Oh, I see what
Where do you think arrogance would take a player like Mickey X? Would it break him or make him?
I think that would break him. I don't know actually. Maybe that will suddenly
Makes you think
empower
about it.
him and But he's not. So that solves the question. But that's a good. I need to ask him now. Imagine the arrogant version of yourself. What would you do? How would you speak to your teammate if you were that way?
Makes you think about your
I'm
boys.
gonna ask him.
All right, so always like here, I ask questions that prevent or provide more questions. Can you explain what's going on in this photo?
We're going with one of my best bro to Carnaval de Dunkerque in the north. That's one of the. I spent 10 years of my life, something like that, in Dunkerque, so the northern city of France, and they have this huge carnival. It was the whole city dresses, usually guys as women and women as whatever the fuck they want, for like full months. So we are in outfit right now.
With
we're
you,
gonna have fun.
you come from such a social party aspect background, but then it's all work and no play with the boys sometimes. But do you encourage them in their social development? Because I think pro players in league are so destined almost in some ways by the structure to not have those moments the moments that you maybe have shared in your adolescence.
Yeah, they, I think, have had a good bite at life. Done a shitload of stuff, some stupid, most really fun. And I need to make sure they make the right decision. So I'm going to use these whole experiences and all the mistakes I made to make sure they don't do them. And all the fun I had, they need to realize how lucky they are right now, which they don't, because most of them have been unplugged from family and plugged back in the gaming house. They never had student years or travels or stuff like that. So yeah, it's my duty to make sure when they're done with esport, because that will happen, they remember those moments and they're happy about it.
I suppose in many ways the biggest inspiration for you in your life is Michael O'Brien.
Who?
Michael O'Brien.
Michael Abraham?
Someone you talk about a lot. I'm surprised you don't remember him.
Michel Abraham?
Michael O'Brien, the first streaker at a sporting event.
Yeah.
Do you remember him
I
now?
know where you're referring from. Yeah. No, I mean, I think you're referring from a picture I shared ages ago. To be fair, I printed this picture and I had it in my room for a bit. I think it was a fun lad. Being stupid back then was way safer than nowadays, for sure.
I feel you're underplaying it. For me, a seminal figure in your life. No, surely someone you've taken inspiration from, because in many ways, you're streaking, maybe not in a physical sense, but constantly showing off and bearing your soul for the rest of the world to see.
Streaking in the physical sense as well a few times, and it's really fun.
There's no need to admit to that.
It's okay.
The lawyer's not present.
It's fine. The picture's online, so as long as it makes people laugh and smile, and it creates good vibes, and everyone is happy. That's why I wear kilt. Creates happy. It's a really good icebreaker. It's like, oh, this guy is not a threat.
Weirdly,
have fun
you know what,
together.
weirdly, that's the first thing we ever spoke about when we met.
That's right. Yeah, that's
At Press Day 2023 MSI. That's the first thing we ever spoke about. I asked you about your kilt.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know who you were at that time.
Oh, I knew who you were at that time.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, see, because you've made a few goofy interviews already, and the question was.
No, that was before I'd done any interviews. My first interview was with.
I think you had spoken with Mickey before. My job is to assess whoever the fuck is going to come next to my players to know if they're a threat, if I should
No,
blacklist
I'm talking
them,
about Asset Day MSI 23. My first ever interview I ever did was with Broken Blade that day. Yeah. You were there with Amy, Afrin. And I said, why are you wearing a kilt? Are you Scottish? And you said, no, I'm French.
Sorry, I probably apologize for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apologies are important. And we
Always.
hope to be giving you the opposite of an apology. What's the opposite of an apology?
What's the opposite of an apology?
I don't know.
Good
Good luck. Well, hopefully we'll go to quarterfinals.
I'm down. We have the same interview in Paris. Looks really official.
Thank you so much, Romain.
Of
Peace.
course. Man! Oh, you like egg? Okay, you like it. I love it. I love it.